Today, I want to talk about an important topic, which is AI in education and how AI is actually improving or how AI is actually intervening into education to help us and not to kind of remove people, remove teachers, and replace people. Rather, it's there to enhance and to actually empower students to learn better. There are so many misconceptions and there are so many people talking about AI as if AI is actually going to be taking away from students away from schools and taking them away from their tutoring lessons or their classes or their special support that they go for or any sorts of additional support they go for. I feel that from the point of an educational standpoint or as an educator and through seeing students learn and to come into EduSpace, for example, for one-on-one attention and learning, I've kind of tried to understand how AI can benefit students, for example. So as a learner, for students, they obviously want to cut corners and find a result or find an answer, a quick answer here and there. And that's been always happening for any sort of student from any part of the world, as well as even 10-20 years ago, we had tools and websites where we'd go in for notes and check if there were summaries for a particular topic, and that's the same way AI is going to be used right now. So parents need not fret, and they don't need to worry about, is AI going to take over that whole education system, and are students just going to cheat? Are students just going to look into cutting corners into answering questions? Yes, that is a problem for educators to solve, but at the same time, you've got to understand AI is a tool, and AI is a tool to be used and to be used efficiently for betterment, like for the betterment of the students and for the betterment of the teachers and for the betterment of the parents. So we cannot try to use AI to kind of answer questions, do our homework, and do things for us. Rather, we've got to use AI in a way to constructively work with us to find, like, let's say, instead of going in and spending 1 or 2 hours on a project of research, trying to go into 5 different websites, we can probably go into the AI tools that we want to use and go into finding 2 or 3 sources and kind of summarizing that data and then coming into a conclusion on how to derive everything and how to actually bring in all that understanding. And instead of having someone else sit with you and kind of have a conversation and debate with, you can have those questions to an AI assistant, and then you can go ahead and do your assignments. But the assignment has to be done by the student. It cannot be done by anyone else. As a learner, you don't want to go and depend on an AI to actually do the answers and do everything for you, because once you start doing that, you get into a cycle where you aren't actually understanding what you're studying, and you're going to go down the route where you're going to be so dependable on AI. What's going to happen when you actually have to present and when you have to do things for an examination, and when you have to go in for an exam or an oral exam, and you have to start speaking for yourself for from the knowledge that you've obtained. So things will get tough, and students need to understand that. That's not on anyone else or anyone for anyone to teach, but rather for the students to actually understand, for the students to realize how to actually improve things, how to benefit from it. If you don't mind, please do like and subscribe. Parents and educators really need to understand one thing, and that is that AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. AI is not going to replace teachers. It's not going to replace educational platforms. It's not going to replace educators. AI is only going to be a tool used to enhance and to actually effectively take actions into improving that whole education space. So we've got to understand and look at AI as a tool. We cannot look at AI as an alternative for a person. We cannot look at alternative for a tutor, for example, thinking that AI is going to tutor my child. No matter which end of the AI spectrum you are, whether you support it or you don't support it, you've got to really understand that we cannot be fully dependent on it. We need to have a balance. We need to understand, because everywhere around the world, they're looking at ways to regulate and to understand things much better and clearer, and on differentiating how the usage of AI should be safe. And then also for students, how to actually differentiate how they're going to be utilizing AI. So as parents and educators, we need to understand that looking at a tool standpoint, we need to really understand how to derive and how to help students use it in a safe and positive manner, rather than secluding them and avoiding them and pushing them to a corner and saying, don't use it. We've got to allow them to use it, but also teach them on how to actually use it more effectively and efficiently. So let's start being more open-minded in terms of understanding the needs and requirements of students, at the same time allowing them to explore how AI can be used, because it is a tool at the end of the day. Just as how laptops and PCs came in, and we obviously taught students and made sure that they learn and use it in an effective manner, the same way technology, phones, and the same way all these technologies had a change in the world, we've got to look at AI as this pivotal point where are we going to completely negate it, or are we actually going to accept it? But then with acceptance comes a responsibility factor of how are we going to teach and how are we going to educate people to use it more safely and use it more securely and use it more effectively on safe usage policies. How are we going to bring out these policies? How are we going to actually help them use it and educate them on using it in a safe manner, so that they're also understanding the impact that it can have in their lives and around them. And one last thing that I want to highlight is that AI cannot replace human interaction and human intervention. So when it comes to one-to-one personalized learning, and when it comes to online tutoring, or whether it be personalized tutoring that you're going for, that cannot be replaced by AI. No matter how many robots, no matter how many technologies that come by, we cannot take that part of a human connection that's there with a teacher and a student. That relationship between them cannot be replaced in no way, shape, or form. That is something that's powerful. We need to understand that we cannot try to also replace it. No matter how much we try, we will not get it. We are social human beings. Human beings are social creatures, and we need to deal with people, and for us to have that interpersonal skills and for us to develop those skill sets, we need to be able to interact and engage with people and human beings. So that power of AI can be used as a tool and used as a form of strengthening bonds and connections, the same way we use WhatsApp and iMessage to communicate better with our friends and easier with our friends, because even if they're a long distance, we can still make it happen. The same way we do it, we can use AI as a tool to strengthen that bond that we have with our teacher, with our students, and not look at it as if it were something that is going to replace and completely derail the education system. So, take a shift and a perspective change on how to look at this. We need more balance, and we need that balance of human intervention and human interaction within the education system. Without that, we cannot progress as human beings, and that's how we need to learn, and that's how we need to have this personalized learning. So the importance of personalized learning is more important than ever before. We cannot detach and sit back at home and think that we can do everything by ourselves, because now we have an AI tool to do it, which replicates a human being. No matter how much they try, or no matter how much anyone tries, it will be so difficult to replicate something that a human can possibly give. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care. Cheers.